You can see the paintwork. It doesn't get any better. It is a beautiful wreck.
Beneath the waves lies a world so strange and eerie that it can feel like something straight out of a nightmare. From ancient remains hiding untold stories to unknown creatures that seem almost unreal. The ocean is full of mysteries. Join us to explore the most horrific underwater secrets. The Mariana Trench is a deep well of unknown mysteries, but this one takes the cake. While on an exploration mission, a submarine camera discovered a bizarre sight. It was the carcass of a giant ancient creature. Well, at least I am hoping it was ancient, because its head resembled a T-Rex. But that opens a new Pandora box of questions. If it was a T-Rex, what kind of a monster pulled it down here? And if it wasn't a T-Rex, then what kind of beast was this when alive? Personally, I don't even want to find out. Tentacled terror. Recently, deep in the Pacific, scientists discovered an eerie yet fascinating creature. Like many other creatures on the list, this thing has long, tentacle-like arms swaying downward and a pale, almost ghostly body. It looked like it was glowing from within. This luminescent creature seemed to carry its own light. Now that is one terrifying-looking animal right there. It's a reminder of how little we really know about the wonders and strange surprises lurking deep below the surface. 6-gill surprise.
Oh, wow!
In 2019, a group of scientists made history when they tagged a marine animal using a submarine. And it wasn't just any animal. It was the blunt-nosed 6-gill shark. This elusive shark lives in deep waters and hunts there too.
That is amazing.
It predates the dinosaurs and is one of the apex predators of the oceans. Check out how the shark observes the scientists in the glass submarine. The way it opens its eyes and looks at them is just electrifying. Its length can reach up to 20 feet, but from this angle, it looks like a Boeing 747.
Oh, look at the size. I mean, this female, she's definitely bigger than this.
Australian wonder. Coral reefs are known to house various kinds of fish, but looks like this reef in Australia had something more. When a diver was recording it 17 years ago, he discovered an unexpected creature there. It was a mermaid that was swimming serenely in the water. Now, before you think it was a human being wearing a suit, observe how the arms of the mermaid are pointed downwards, and the mermaid is using just its tail to move forward in the water. If it had been a human, they wouldn't have been able to move forward without using their hands. Netizens pointed out the same thing too. Fossil fish. Frilled sharks are a unique species of shark that have 6 gills instead of 5. They haven't changed much from their prehistoric ancestors and are thus known as living fossils. They are rarely sighted because they are normally 5,000 feet under the ocean surface. That's why when a couple of divers caught a frill share near Japan 18 years ago, the news was broadcasted on CNN. And what you are seeing here is probably the only clear sighting of the creature. The shark was extremely old and frail. It was taken to the Awashima Marine Park for observation, but it passed away within hours. Sweden treasure. The oceans of the world are full of riches, and we have barely scratched the surface. While diving off the coast of Sweden, some divers found a treasure they did not seek. It was a figurehead from a 15th century ship, and they found it in the Baltic Sea. One can only wonder and imagine what other treasures might be lying on the ocean floor out there. Who knows, there might be a ship with hordes of gold and silver coins, like in pirate movies. Anglerfish. Perhaps the most fascinating yet frightening creature from the depths of the ocean is the anglerfish. This fish has over 200 species and is known for its unique method of catching prey. One of its fins on top of its head has evolved to look like a fishing pole. At the end of its extended reach, it dangles a neon glowing bulb that contains bioluminescent bacteria. In the dark depths of the ocean where little light reaches, this light lures fish and shrimp, but maybe the most absurd part is how they procreate. With some species, the male fuses to the female, literally attaching his body and his circulation to hers. He survives by depending on her for food and nutrients. The anglerfish is a unique creature and an important part of the ocean's ecosystem. Lost Tomb. Sabah, Malaysia is an island full of natural wonders, but deep beneath it lies a dark secret. It has an entrance to a maze of underwater caves, and in one of them is a tomb of lost turtles. These poor creatures went into the caves looking for food maybe, but never managed to make it out. The mystery is that turtles are one of the best navigators of the oceans, and can hold their breath for over 7 hours. So how come they lost their way here? Now, if it was one turtle, that would have been fine, but there are dozens of turtle skeletons lying in those caves, and no one has figured out why. Sneaky stargazer. Meet the stargazer fish, a clever predator known for its unique hunting style. With flat heads, upward-facing eyes, and wide mouths, they look like they're gazing at the stars, hence the name. Found in shallow waters and deep oceans, stargazers bury themselves in sand, leaving only their eyes and mouth visible. They use a tiny lure under their mouths to attract prey. When a fish gets close, they snap in just 30 milliseconds. Truly a sneaky master of disguise. Mythical bloop. In 2022, a helicopter flying over the ocean near the Caribbean islands spotted a mysterious creature swimming under the surface. It was shaped like a whale, but twice its size. However, its wide eyes and giant mouth set it apart from ordinary whales. Based on its direction, it was drifting towards the Caribbean islands themselves. Thankfully, no incident was reported from the islands involving this creature. Netizens identified this creature as the bloop, and this bloop isn't the loud sound that was detected by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration in 1997. It is an actual creature that was thought to be extinct, but looks like it has re-emerged in recent times. Giant fish. While scuba diving, a diver made an unexpected discovery. A 700-pound fish, roughly the size of a shark, but much friendlier. This giant creature is a rare find, and the diver, sensing no risk, swam closer. To his surprise, the fish didn't mind at all, and even opened its mouth for a selfie. This peaceful ancient fish lives in the vast, dark ocean, far from human eyes. It's not every day you get to share a moment with such a rare and massive underwater giant. Eel catfish. Let me introduce you to the striped eel catfish, a little marvel of the marine world. These guys love hanging out in places like coral reefs, estuaries, tidal pools, and the shallow waters of the Indo-Western Pacific. Picture a bunch of tiny, striped fish, up to 100 of them, swimming together like a synchronized dance team. They do this for safety. It's basically the aquatic version of strength in numbers. Plus, this tight formation makes them harder to spot and helps them glide through the water with ease. But here's the twist. As these fish grow up, they ditch the group life, and once they hit maturity, they become lone rangers or hang out in much smaller cliques. And adult striped eel catfish aren't just pretty stripes, they're armed with venom as well. Terrifying predator. While deep in a submarine, a man was exploring the ocean floor and he saw something big. But it wasn't your everyday shark. It was a great white shark, but sadly, it was not alive. He glided further and realized it was much bigger than a normal great white, with flaking skin displaying a white underbelly and exposed bones. The shark was clearly in a state of decomposition. Some areas of its surface appeared to be shedding, revealing a distinct texture underneath. So, what do do you think? What natural process could have led to such an interesting change? Prehistoric remains. In 2021, a casual swimmer found a bizarre object on the ocean floor off the coast of Florida. So he brought an underwater camera the next day. It was a skeleton, all right, but it didn't belong to any known marine animal. It was bigger than the biggest whale ever seen, and the skeleton was incomplete too. It looked like the real tail end of the skeleton was missing too, and a lot of the front portion, and the skull was nowhere to be seen as well. Looks like it was the skeleton of a prehistoric animal. Massive squid. Meet the bigfin squid, also known as the elbow squid, and yes, its name comes from its oddly bent tentacles, which look like elbows. This deep-sea creature is like something out of a nightmare, like it just exists to poke you with its elbows. It has a small head, giant flapping fins, and long, thin tentacles that glow a blue hue. As it moves through the water, its tentacles create a trail, making it stand out during the rare sightings of this mysterious creature. While the bigfin squid may look unusual, it's part of the ocean's fascinating hidden world. Proof that the deep sea is full of surprises. Godzilla.
We hit some iceberg.
While sailing on a cruise ship in 2020, a few travelers witnessed a scary spectacle. A huge creature just went by the ship. It had huge scales and a Godzilla-like skin color. Its scales seemed to be as hard as iron, but thankfully, it didn't brush the ship hard. However, netizens were divided over the reality of the being. Some said it was just an iceberg, while others stated that it was a leviathan that has been living in the seas for ages. Regardless of what the truth is, it definitely was a terrifying sight. Siphonophore. Meet the woolly Siphonophore, a mesmerizing creature straight out of Monterey Bay's Midnight Zone. It's not just one animal, it's a colony of specialized organisms working together in perfect harmony, stretching up to 16 feet long. What's even more fascinating is that it can sometimes be as big as a blue whale. Do you realize that there are billions of organisms, and they are all working together? With its graceful, spinning motion, it glides through the ocean, leaving a trail of stinging arms. These arms are equipped with tiny, stinging cells that immobilize unsuspecting prey. This amazing jelly-like creature is one of two newly discovered species of Apolemia, showing that the ocean still has many secrets to reveal. Antarctic shipwreck.
It's there, it's intact. The state of preservation is unbelievable. You can see the paintwork. It doesn't get any better. It is a beautiful wreck.
After more than 100 years, the legendary Endurance shipwreck has been found, and it's shockingly well preserved. A high-tech expedition recently uncovered the vessel in Antarctica's icy depths, marking the first time the ship has been seen since its doomed voyage in 1915, during Ernest Shackleton's expedition. Trapped in thick ice, the Endurance was slowly crushed by the pressure before sinking to the ocean floor. Some researchers suggest its mast and rigging acted like a parachute, guiding it gently down and leaving it remarkably intact. This incredible find offers a glimpse into history, preserving the story of one of the most dramatic Antarctic expeditions ever. What secrets will the Endurance reveal from its icy tomb?
This is sea ice, this is frozen seawater. Normally in the Weddell Sea in this part of Antarctica, it can be 2 or 3 meters thick.
Glowing marvel. This is the vampire squid, an oddball of the deep sea. Despite its spooky name, it's neither a squid nor an octopus. Instead, it belongs to its own genus and has fascinated scientists since its discovery in 1903. Living in the depths of the Mariana Trench, this creature lights up the darkness with bioluminescent blue extremities and uses long, filament-like tentacles to sense and feed. But here's the wild part. It flips its webbed arms inside out, forming a mantle lined with barbed-like projections. Unlike other squids, it doesn't rely on camouflage, but can shift its color between black and rusty red using specialized muscles. Truly a glowing marvel of the abyss. Ningen tail. 6 years ago, an anonymous user posted a freaky video on the internet. It was allegedly stolen from the Japanese agency. The agency had spotted a humanoid creature near their northern shores, but had kept the info under wraps. The creature could be seen with bright eyes and a knowing smile. Netizens alleged that it was a ningen. The ningen is a Japanese sea monster that is said to live in the oceans of Antarctica and southern Asia. It is described as having a human-like face and other human features, but its exact appearance varies. Massive berg. The mysteries of the oceans don't just lie in the deep, they are on the surface as well. In 2023, a tourist to Norway captured this amazing sight. It was an iceberg, but looked different. Instead of the regular muddy white color, it had a crystallized blue color, and it was swirling and twirling in the ocean, sending waves to the shore. But netizens had other theories about the spectacle. They said that something unknown was disturbing the iceberg from below, and was probably playing with it. Let's hope that is not true, because we really don't want to know the identity of such a huge creature that can play with icebergs as if it were just a football. Box jellyfish. Let's talk about one of the ocean's rarest and most fascinating creatures, the Chirodectes, a species of box jellyfish so elusive that scientists have only spotted it in the wild twice. Yep, twice. That alone makes it a legend of the deep. It isn't clear if this jellyfish can sting, but based on its relatives, it probably has venom. Box jellyfish are known for having some of the most painful stings in the animal kingdom. Their venom is quite potent, affecting the heart, nerves, and skin cells. Encounters with them require immediate attention, making it essential to stay cautious around these fascinating creatures. Cuttlefish gathering. Now have a look at one of the most fascinating natural occurrences in all of Australia. The cuttlefish migration at Point Lowly and Stony Point in the Upper Spencer Gulf Marine Park. It constitutes one of the largest cuttlefish migrations known to man, and what's even more fascinating is what the cuttlefish do when they get there. They breed in the sandy, rocky bottoms of the ocean. As females deposit eggs, males attempt to woo them to mate. Wooing consists of a colorful metamorphic process where males demonstrate their amazing patterning and color-changing abilities. But the most fascinating part of this event is the sheer volume of the cuttlefish. Humanoid fish. If you normally don't have nightmares, I believe you will have after this. In 2024, a deep sea diver was streaming a video to his crewmates on their ship. Their plan was to explore marine life a few miles short of the Bermuda Triangle. The diver knew that it could be dangerous, but he wasn't expecting it to be this dangerous. After a few minutes of capturing nothing, a weird giant fish approached him. It had the face of a human being instead of a normal fish, and when it opened its mouth and its dozen eyes, it was menacing. Those teeth were like thin spikes, and that was the last of the diver's stream. Blue Ring's terror. The blue-ringed octopus is small, but one of the ocean's most fascinating creatures. Found in tide pools and coral reefs from Japan to Australia, this tiny octopus is famous for its glowing blue rings, which light up as a warning when it feels disturbed. Normally camouflaged, it uses this striking display to ward off predators. Its survival strategies and mesmerizing rings make it stand out among sea life. There are 4 known species of this octopus, each sharing similar behaviors and features. Despite its small size, the blue-ringed octopus remains a true wonder of the underwater world. Green glow. Green glowworms live just above the seafloor and emit green bioluminescent flashes to confuse predators. Each worm can release up to 8 glowing bursts. If it loses one, it can regenerate. Remarkably, these worms are blind and don't need eyes, relying on their bioluminescence to protect themselves. They are also skilled swimmers, able to move both forward and backward with ease to escape predators. Their glowing survival tactics make them one of the ocean's most fascinating creatures. Giant worm. In 2019, a pair of divers off the coast of New Zealand discovered a bizarre sea creature. It looked like a 30-feet giant plastic bag at first, but when the divers approached nearer, it felt their presence and began swimming away. What even was it? No one had any clue when the video was uploaded on social media, and the divers couldn't gather more information either. It could be a distant relative of a jellyfish, but that is as far as my guesses can go. Kraken encounter. It was a normal day for a few sailors in the North Sea in 2019 while they were cruising in their cargo ship, until a storm hit. It wasn't anything that I had never seen before, but that was about to change. One of the sailors spotted a mysterious sight in the distance. Giant tentacles were coming out of the sea and waving around. Now, it definitely wasn't an octopus or a squid, as they are not known to exhibit such behavior, but experts on the internet said that it was the Kraken, and let's hope it doesn't make its way towards our ships. Sammy B. Just imagine doing your hobby and you end up coming across the deepest shipwreck known to man. That's exactly what happened here. Watch the USS Samuel B. Roberts, also known as Sammy B, the deepest shipwreck ever found. This heroic vessel sank during the fierce battle off Samar, part of World War II's larger Philippine Sea conflict, in October 1944. Now it rests 6,895 meters below the surface. Explorer Victor Vescovo, a Texan adventurer, located the wreck using his personal submersible. Despite decades underwater and enduring the intense battles of its time, Sammy B remains remarkably intact. Loch Ness underwater. Something spooky has been spotted beneath the waters of Lake Champlain. A diver captured this footage of a murky, shadowy outline drifting through the lake's depths. It moved like a long monster, leaving everyone to wonder, could it be Champ, the legendary Loch Ness monster's cousin? Or maybe just an oddly shaped fish? Or could it be a giant anaconda? But the true shape remains a mystery. Since then, it has not been seen. What do you think it was? Tell me in the comments below. Underwater UFO. Well, as if we didn't have enough problems in the Mariana Trench. But to add an alien one is just stretching the issue even further. In 2023, a submersible camera found an extremely impossible object in the Mariana Trench. It was a UFO, and by the looks of it, it had been sitting there for many years now. UFO crashes haven't been unheard of, but to have one right in the middle of the Mariana Trench is something else. Squid surprise. Starting off, this person decided to set up a camera deep in the Pacific Ocean to capture sea life. He hoped to record the usual creatures that call the ocean home, but instead, a giant squid appeared on the footage, and it was just so huge, with long tentacles stretching across the camera's view. The squid seemed to be curiously studying the camera, almost as if trying to figure out what it was. The creature moved through the dark water, with its size incredible to see. Its tentacles were so long they seemed to fill the screen, and its eyes glowed in the deep blue ocean. Webbed alien. On March 6th, marine geologist Dr. Torsten Schmidt went into a submersible for research purposes. His mission was to observe the ocean floor only and collect samples of soils. However, he was forced to cancel his expedition because of this. A webbed hand appeared on the glass shield of his sub, and that had the biologists going nuts. Schmidt said the being that looked back at him was an intelligent species, like human beings. Another expert identified as a mermaid-type creature that had alien-like characteristics. Prehistoric road. Off the coast of Bimini in the Bahamas lies the mysterious Bimini Road, an underwater formation stretching nearly a kilometer. To some, it looks like a man-made road made of rectangular limestone blocks, sparking theories of ancient civilizations or lost cities. Despite limited exploration, the Bimini Road shares similarities with the famous Atlantis Road, which also has baffled researchers for years. Both remain shrouded in mystery, with no clear answers about their origins. Is it nature's odd creation, or something more ancient? The question continues to intrigue explorers. Do you have any idea about this road? Titan's tragedy. On June 18th, 2023 tragedy happened in an unlikely manner. 5 passengers were traveling in a submersible to watch the wreckage of the Titanic. 2 of these had specifically come all the way from the United Kingdom. Unfortunately, because of unknown reasons, the submersible and all its passengers were lost in the ocean. The US Coast Guard went down there to examine the situation, but they only found one half of the submersible. This is a video of that exploratory mission, and it's as somber as we remember. The living legend. Looks like this is what stopped NASA from exploring the Atlantic Ocean. When the Navy's sonar detected an unusual body in the ocean, they thought it was a new enemy submarine, so they placed a trail cam underwater and hid it in an old wreckage to collect evidence. However, what they discovered made them realize it was a matter for a different department altogether. It was a mosasaurus, and it was supposed to have been extinct 66 million years ago. And from which cave did this one crawl out from? No one has any idea, but the once apex predator of the ocean is back. Ocean orb.
Soft thermal air, okay.
A year ago, scientists exploring the ocean floor near Alaska found a mysterious object. They were using a remote-controlled submarine when they suddenly spotted an orb that didn't seem to belong there. It was a golden-colored orb. They didn't know what to make of it, and when they tried touching it with the sub's robotic arm, it just broke, like a mushroom would. One of them thought it was an egg of some kind, but eggs don't have such soft, spongy shells. And if scientists are at a loss to explain what it was, then who am I to say anything about it? Let's just hope it wasn't an extraterrestrial object of some kind.
If I try to grab it?
It seems like it. It seems pretty delicate.
Ribbon arms. In November 2021, researchers from Mbari caught an incredible sight: a giant phantom jelly deep in Monterey Bay. This thing was spotted at 990 meters by ROV Doc Ricketts. The jellyfish is nothing short of impressive. It has a bell that's over 1 meter wide and 4 ribbon-like arms stretching more than 10 meters. The jellyfish uses those long tentacles to capture prey in the pitch-black depths. Spotting any jellyfish at these depths is rare, making this sighting a reminder of how much of the ocean still holds surprises. Underwater icicle. In 2012, Catherine Jeffs, a documentary producer, went to Antarctica to film the underwater world for a series. When the camera team went down there through a hole, they discovered something unexpected. They found some brinicles forming down below. These rare phenomena are composed of extremely concentrated salt water that is ejected by the freezing ice sheet above. The clip that you are about to see is a time-lapse video of 8 hours. When the brinicle touched the ocean floor, it froze everything that came in its path. A truly rare sight captured by Catherine and her team, and a teaser of what all can go wrong if you are at the wrong spot at the wrong time. Plate jelly. Here's a jellyfish with a twist. The Solmicis splaswofert, or the dinner plate jelly. Yes, it is really called that. Unlike its stinging relatives, this pelagic predator prefers a sneakier approach to catching its meals. Here's how it goes. It floats through the water with its long tentacles extended in front and snatches up unsuspecting prey before they realize what's happening. And it's not picky. This jelly enjoys a buffet of gelatinous creatures, from comb jellies to siphonophores. Its unique hunting style sets it apart from other jellyfish, which typically let their tentacles trail behind. The dinner plate jelly flips the script, making it a fascinating and efficient predator in the deep sea. The Atlantean. While visiting the Sea Life Minnesota Aquarium in 2022, a family spotted more than what they bargained for. The young boy in the family found something in his view and began pointing at it, but none of the others could see what it was. Suddenly, An alien with a webbed hand appeared in front of the boy. They touched their hands from behind the glass. It is as if they understood each other on some level. But what if this alien was actually an underwater being from our oceans that we have just recently discovered? Or maybe it was a fishman from Atlantis. Now that is definitely something to wonder about. It's time for today's open discussion. Everyone's a winner when it comes to exploring the water bodies because you never return without a shocking discovery. This time, a dark blue cargo worth $300,000 was discovered under the ocean and brought to the Australian shore. It is believed that the cargo sank during the massive shipping of 80 containers in 2018, when most of them, due to a tragic water turbulence, fell into the water and failed to be retrieved. It was nearly after 2 years when the remains were looked back using underwater robots and special retrieval boats from Singapore, which could hold a static weight of 300 tons. It is estimated that 11 containers have been brought back filled with old tires and cardboard in huge amounts, proving to be a handsome source of income for the nearby fishermen. Interesting fact. The findings are coming for 20 million Australian dollars, but the ocean discoverers cannot stop themselves from scouting more and more. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.